Let's talk a little bit about Leelanau County. It's the peninsula, surrounded by water, great place. Reminds me a lot of Oregon in terms of cherries and then moving to vineyards and grape growing. And also of all the counties, it has the most scenic, lots of tourism. I mean, you've got the famous M22.
Right.
People drive around.
I spent a Saturday driving M22
Right,
one day,
me too.
had lunch at Sutton's Bay. What a spectacular place.
Just gorgeous. And also very much tied to the future of Traverse City. I mean, a lot of people that work in Traverse City live out on the Leelanau.
So the growth pressures in Traverse City would drive towards Leelanau County?
I think whatever happens in Leelanau County, they're kind of, Traverse City is right there. It's kind of the big weight that drives it. So it's important for folks in Leelanau to think about that and to think about which scenario looks good to them.
So what are some of the choices for Leelanau County that these scenarios present for the public?
Well, I think if you look at scenario A, you're pretty much building off what has happened in the past. Scenario B, you're really focusing on people living a rural lifestyle and doing it rural by design, so you retain some of the farms and open space, but you also have plenty of people living in houses out there. Scenario C, you're really looking at focusing growth around the villages. You'd be looking at Sutton's Bay, Leland Empire, those places really growing more, and they would of course have to invest in sewer and water.
Yeah. It would be a different kind of growth pattern because people would be concentrated in the villages. It would require higher investments in sewer and water and sidewalks and bike paths and so on, but it would produce a very different region where people would have this walkable opportunity to really enjoy life like they have in the past.
Right.
And to have that same kind of lifestyle preserved for their children and grandchildren.
And scenario D would focus most of the growth in Traverse City. And that would provide a Leelanau that could probably remain more the same over the future. It would be more of a protected, preserved Leelanau with maintaining most of what's there today in terms of agriculture and so forth. You'd have housing, but it would again be less housing than in the scenario C.
Now there are different scenarios, A, B, and C, and D. John, do people have to choose just one, or could part of a county be more like one and part of a county be more like another scenario?
No, these all came out of workshops. We had, 250 maps. So they were kind of compiled into these different
Have we
ideas.
ever in the history of regional visioning seen this kind of public participation workshops?
I don't think even as total, but certainly as a percentage, it exceeds all of our expectations.
This region has been truly extraordinary. We as outside experts were shocked at the kind of turnout and public support there was for helping determine the future of this wonderful place.
That's right. And Leelanau County was had more than average participation. Certainly, they've got a lot of stuff going on there. They've got different land conservation programs that are somewhat unique in the region. They have a lot of already ideas. You could tell people that came from Leelanau County, they've been thinking about this a lot. So we expect a lot from you guys in filling this out, a lot of ideas on how to pick not just the scenario you like, but the strategies that are really going to keep this region a beautiful, livable place.